Good evening all, and welcome to the Gran Turismo Endurance Championship, brought to you by IARO. This is the final stint, Stint 4. We are live from Barcelona, and the first team has just taken to the track. Sorry for not getting much of a build up here, but it's been a rather hectic afternoon for myself. But I did get here just in time to see the Overboost Racing team take to the track. Let's get some info up, guys. I am Ponyboy. I will be your streamer for the final stint. And there we go. I wish I had the other stream up right now, but I've got my headphones on, so I wouldn't be able to hear anyway. But we are waiting. We have got P2 out now, 1 minute and 7 seconds behind. That's Mad SDA. Or Mazda, almost like a Mazda. Or Sector 7 Racing in P2. And that lovely looking Mercedes AMG there. The 20 model. I'd like to thank Cruentis for, he'll still be streaming the Stint 3, doing a great job there, even though everything that could have went wrong apparently did go wrong in the first 20 minutes. So, but that's what you have to do, you have to soldier on in these times. As we see, King E is taking to the track, 50 seconds behind Mazda. And 1 minute and 57 behind Neo for the Overboost Racing team. But as per usual, the Race Asylum guys right up there and fighting for a podium yet again. Let me just bring the stream up so I can get the chat up as well. Yeah, fantastic. So now we can settle everything to, as we have got a few people join now. We've got RA Dens in P4 with only 3.6 seconds behind him is RA Oust or Ost. And we have got little Nicky join the stream. Thanks for joining, buddy. And good afternoon to you. Apex Magnet in P6 there. 14 seconds behind RA Ost. But with 6.9 seconds in front of James in the BMW M6 there for the AHR team. In P8 we have Hasnain. I will get all the teams and that back up in a minute. Sorry, I haven't done my homework. I have been a very naughty boy. Oh, that'll be Moosehead Racing, I presume. I'm sure I have seen that before. Or that could just be a sponsor, but either way, looking very good there. 13 seconds in front of S7R Aero there in P9. Well, he's only 0.6 of a second in front of... Oh, it's Weirsoft, isn't it? I remember him. Sector 7 Racing AMG there, followed by Weirsoft. And oh, it's the Ready to Race boys, of course it is. Good to see you back, guys. In the RSR there. Giving Aero something to worry about. And we've got 19 people joined us already. Good evening, guys, afternoon, depending on where you are. Thanks for joining the stream. Don't forget to give it a like, a thumbs up and a subscribe to the channel. You'll get all notifications when we do start live streams then. In P11 we have CLR Stoic, 3 minutes 55 behind the lead, 37 behind Veertop and 27.28 now in front of Raptor Race. Raptor Race, a name I haven't seen for a while, but good to see him back on track. There with the classic dinosaur livery that has been done quite a while. We've still got a couple in the pits, including good old Mr. Johnny Waffle there and TCR Kemp. But we will flip back. Where was it? P-File and 5, 2.6 seconds between R.A. Dens and Mr. Ost. And the McLaren seemingly a very effective round here, as the ORT boys had proven, but would it matter what car they were in with this pace? Well, Mazda doing a good job there in P2 for the first of the Sector 7 cars. Do we have any of the fun hand? We do have Mr. Johnny Waffle on track. Yes, there he is. Or one of the MRL teams. I'm not sure if there's one or two in this. I say I will bring up things. I'm really sorry for being behind on my homework. It's 6 minutes behind the leader, but TCR Kemp is still in the pits. In a lovely looking purple GTR there. See, it finally does come out. How far behind Mr. Johnny Waffle is he? I know it's MRL, but it just looks good, Mr. Johnny Waffle. 49.2 seconds and 6 minutes and 50 behind the leader. But to be honest, after 6 hours, well, four and a half now, isn't it? That's still pretty good. You can see that after 2 stints sometimes. But the ORT boys really pushing it on. Quickest lap of this stint so far to ORT Neo with a 1 minute 40.433. Overboost Racing Team showing off their strength and depth here. Every single one of these guys out of the box alien, I would say. But let's not take anything away from the rest of the guys here, because we do have SDRT Mazda has set the quickest lap so far with a 140.3. We have King Ears, who's got a little bit of a lonely task at the moment, 51 seconds behind Mazda, but he has got a nice gap of 29.3 seconds in front of R.A. Dens behind him, but he was under pressure from R.A. Ost, but Ost seemingly dropped back, and they are teammates as well. But we do know that, well, stands a very good chance that the McLaren will be better on tyres. After everything I've managed to see so far today, this does seem to be the case. And again, everybody running in the 140s. The pace here, pretty hot. Apex Magnet in P6. Only 2.5 seconds in front of James now in P7. And James with a 140.8 last time round is nearly 2 seconds a lot quicker than Apex Magnet in front of him, it seems. About 3 seconds last time round, so we will leave it here for a while and see if this gap closes down. But it does look like Apex Magnet has found a little bit more pace with a 1 minute 40.6 himself that time round. Obviously just getting into his rhythm. James with the 141, so actually losing a little bit of time. So maybe I'll give James a little bit of commentator's curse there. But that AHR M6 looking really good going round here. And 69 with the black and gold there does remind me very much of Jamie Whittam. Any bikers out there may know that, and the colour scheme and the number. As known in P8, 11 seconds behind this battle. But he has got 17 seconds cushion between himself and their 7R. And Vietov has dropped back a little bit, 3.1 seconds now, as we know that was under a second when we first joined that battle. They're ready to race RSR there. But again, he can just put his head down and push forward. He doesn't need to look behind him. And the Porsche, I imagine, would be pretty good on tyres in that round here as well. A lot like the McLaren. Does tend to have pretty good, pretty even tyre wear, does the RSR. Congratulations, Hanse. It's just best stint ever on this track, apparently. Well done, mate. Good racing so far. CLA Stoic. We haven't really seen this Porsche yet since I've been behind the keyboard. Again in the RSR. With 30 seconds either side of him and 36 behind, should I say, so Raptor race in P12. To race it, getting lapped there by James, who is right on the back there now of Apex Magnet. So we will switch back to the BMW. Let's jump on board, shall we? Let me all like a good steering wheel shot. I have still got the names above the drivers. I will get rid of that. It does look unsightful. A gap under half a second there. Apex Magnet getting a wheel on the grass as well. That won't have helped him through there. Oh, and a little bit of a power slide there by James. The no chicane version, you do carry a lot of speed around this bit, and this exit vital, and it looks like James has got a fab exit here. Should get the move done well before turn one. Out of the slipstream, and past we go. Pretty much routine pass there, Apex Magnet, a little bit of overspeed there from the slipstream, or maybe just a little bit late on the brakes there, but a 139.7 last time round for James. Or the Apex Hunters. His team name slowly coming back to me. It has been a while. And comfortably now broken the slipstream and should be able to ease away from Apex Magnet in P7. Well, let's check out that gap between 4 and 5. Has it grown? It has. It's gone to 4.8 seconds. The race Sodom guys, I don't think they would battle each other anyway, only help each other along if they could. Apex Magnet, he's got a 10-second gap between himself and Hasnain. For Loose Moose Racing. We'll keep our eye on that gap, because Hasnain comfortably in the 140s every lap there. Well, let's have a look at the leader for a second, shall we? And then we'll have a flick to the back. 1 minute 40 every single lap so far. So pretty much metronomical there by Neo. Whether they're just taking it easy this stint because they can, I imagine so. What's the rush? And the gap has even opened up fractionally. As we do see Madster in a little bit of traffic here just behind James. Indeed, classic Catalonia. This track can provide some great racing. Because we are seeing Apex Magnet has closed right back up here, hasn't he? Let me just put my keyboard down a sec, guys. Heard a noise, I think my dog was. I'll keep the door open just in case she does come back, so as not to disturb the stream. Well, Apex Magnet not giving up on that 6th place. And trying to get a little bit of a toe off the lappy there. Is that S7R? No, actually it's P2, isn't it? He is the lapper. And a bit of a bad lap there last time as he was working his way through traffic, cost him a couple of seconds of 1:42.5, but with 1 minute and 14 to make up. Yes, he has got 40 laps, but I can't see it. Not with the overall pace of the overboost guys. And like I say, I do think he's just taking it quite easy now, just low 1 minute 40s every single lap. As I've already said, metronomical. We will jump to the back, P14. There we have TCR Kemp. Even P14, look, in 140s. So the whole grid within a second of each other lap times, it seems, or a good majority of it. Not sure what Mr. Johnny Waffle is doing. He's at a 1:41.5 on lap 4 then. And still got a 45 seconds cushion between himself and Kemp. And over a lap between himself and P12 Raptor Race, who in turn has got 43 seconds up to Stoic. For the Is This Vortex Racing? Sorry, I am a disgrace. I know I should know all this. No, it's not Vortex, I don't know. I will work it out. Viertov made a little bit of inroads into S7R Aero there. That gap down to 3.5 seconds, or was 4 seconds. Ready to race Porsche team sitting in the low 41s. We'll have a look at tyre wear shortly and see how that is going. Don't like to keep it on the screen all the time. It looks far tidier without, and I haven't got a fancy PC with capture cards to display. I like the previous stream, which I do think looks fantastic. And it's a lot easier because you can have it all on screen at once. S7R Aero 21 seconds behind Hasnain, and he is closing down on Apex Magnet. That gap down to 9.2 seconds now. The quickest lap of a 1:40.2, so Hasnain is really moving. But Apex Magnet now running consistently in the 40s and 41s. Oh, he has definitely found his groove a little bit. But James now with a 3.2 second gap between himself and Apex. And he is on the hunt for RAOS, but 17.8 seconds the gap to close. Ost, as we know, chasing his teammate, that gap down to 2.8. Now that tyre wear starting to come into effect. Well, it looks like the lighter McLaren with better tyre wear is starting to come into its own. The first race asylum car has got 30 seconds to make up. Till we get to the third or first or second or third race asylum car. There is 3 on track, all with matching liveries but different cars. Nice to see. And obviously a very creative livery maker there to be able to replicate them so accurately. All the colours of the rainbow there, saying nothing. 47.3 seconds the gap between himself and Mazda in P2. Again, apart from that lap 10 and lap 7, looks like he had a little bit of a wobble. And looking solid, but like the entire grid, this final stint really does have some strength to it. Sector 7 guys with 2 entries here. In P2, and I think the other is in P9 if I'm not mistaken. Is that S7? Yep. Are the 2 Sector 7 guys. 3.5 seconds now the gap between himself and Virtov. That Porsche again, as I said, a lot like the McLaren, will be a little bit lighter on its tyres. And as the tyre wear starts to kick in, the ready to race guys will feel the benefit. So let's have a look. Let's get a little bit of tyre info up, shall we? Let's see the Porsche not bad, half and half on the left. The right almost like new. Well, if you do look in front, I'm pretty sure that the Mercedes will be a fair bit worse. You see that left front looking bad, and the tyre wear not as even. But each lap that'll get a little more sketchy, because the more you get down these tyres, the quicker they wear as well, the more they slide around. And with that constant pushing on that left-hand front, I can only see that gap between himself and Virtov coming down. Let's have a look what's happening between the 2 RA guys in the very similar situation. There we have Denz in the GTR. And that left front, very, very, very similar to that Mercedes. But there, the McLaren behind him, that's way better. He's got about a fifth more tyre. After 14 laps, that's quite a lot, and you'll say the same probably at the front. Oh no, they've absolutely killed them, but that's just purely down to pace and driving style, I would have thought. Well, yes, and they can afford the extra stop, so the P2 Mercedes as well, also pretty high on tyre wear. Can't see him staying out much longer, maybe another couple of laps. Well, everyone seems to take these tyres pretty much to the death now. Absolutely agree, Nick. The liveries have been superb today. Great efforts by every team there. Where are the closer battles? 2.9, this gap between 4 and 5. But we know that's not going to be a massive battle, even if it does amount to something. I'm sure they'll look after each other and not lose any time. But James is coming. That gap down to 16.3. And the Apex Hunters M6 really is on good pace this stint. Bringing that gap down between himself and the Race Asylum McLaren to 16 seconds. And with 37 laps to go, anything can happen. 15 seconds isn't that big a gap over 37 laps. But we may start to see Apex Magnet start to come back now with the better tyre wear. So we can see James is starting to get down there, whereas all the McLarens seem to be fab on their tyres. Whether it's the aero, whether it's the weight, whether it's the mid-engine, it's very probably the mid-engine that helps. Hasname brought that gap down to single figures in P8 now. The gap down to 9.2 seconds between himself, Apex Magnet. The Loose Moose Racing AMG there making good progress. Indeed, Nick James is on the prowl. James looking very strong. A little bit of a wiggle on there from the Loose Moose AMG. S7 Aero 24 seconds back from these guys. 2.6 in front of Veertoff now. And as predicted, look at that front left tyre wear now. It really is starting to drop off. And we've got 42 people joining us now. That's fab, guys. Don't forget to give the stream a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, give the channel a subscribe. As we've seen the strengths of each car come to life now, with the Porsche being so much better on the tyres than the Mercedes. Can he shrink that gap while he can before they do go in for fresh boots? Stroek in P11, having a very lonely race. And the same with a lot of these guys at the back now. The gap's pretty massive. Kemp taking another seconds out of Mr. Johnny Waffle though. Gap down to 38 seconds. Kemp unfortunately miles behind the leader for Syndicate Racing, but he has certainly got a good pace. 40s and 41s every lap. So unfortunately a long way off the lead, but still amazing pace all the way at the back of the grid here. Meanwhile, back to what battles we do have building. We have Veertoff. Has he managed to make any more progress into S7R? The gap's still at 2.8 seconds, so nothing really. Progress is slow. We can see it a little bit there, back down to 2.7, making up a 10th here, a 10th there, as we do see the first of the pit stops is P8 Hasname. That'll be the first of the Sector 7 cars. No, it won't, it's Loose Moose, isn't it? 7R is the Sector 7 car. I know what I'm doing, really. But we did have the first of the... Well, S7R did come in, put it that way. Sector 7 racing car. Yes, the Mercedes and the BMW seeming more heavily to wear on the left front than the other cars. We can see Neo did also pit. We also see the first of the RA cars in P4, and Oster's got in with him. I would have thought he would have stayed out for another lap or two, but perhaps just staying with his buddy and seeing if they can work as an outfit to keep James behind them. As James has picked himself up, half a second penalty. Can we see where he got that? Let's have a look. No, he'd already picked it up, unfortunately. Now let me just get all the crap off screen. I probably will want to get that crap book up in a second anyway. Sir James now 7.3 seconds in front of Apex Magnet, but what's the gap between 5 and 6 after the pit stops? Only 6 seconds between RA Dens and Apex Magnet, and with the fresh tyres I'd expect to see that gap come down pretty quickly. With 33 laps to go after this one, there is still a hell of a long way, and we have got a new fastest lap of the race from P2. Mazda, or Madzda, or Mazda, I don't know. But it is a 1:39.5 there from the Sector 7 Racing AMG. Coming up to that wraps of racing there. I imagine for the third or fourth time. I think it was a good few minutes back. Might be second. But yeah, cracking lap there, and a 1:39.7 the lap prior as well, so really good pace at the moment from P2 Sector 7 Racing Mercedes. As the Porsche does go into the pits and handily get out of the way. As we also see James into the pits. Now this will be interesting. Has it cost him anything staying out when the guys went in and put fresh tyres on? He has come out in front of the P2 driver. I think it is. Yes, it is. I'll wait till he's up to speed. And what is the gap? It's 14.7 seconds to Ost. So the gap has gone up another couple of seconds as he does the right thing and gets out of the way of the P2. King Gears in P3, we haven't seen him for a lot in the BMW, just set a personal best lap of a 1:39.9. Quite a few starting to drop in the 1:39s as they do put fresh tyres and less fuel. I'm sure none of you need to be told this information, but it just helps that I talk shit constantly while we are doing this. Sorry about the language there, guys. Apex Magnet now in P4. Making the most of that tyre life as he does take it into the pits on lap 20. Now where will that put him in comparison to James, who's got himself another half-second penalty? It may not sound like much, but as we all know in this game, a half-second penalty is a lot more like a second in this. Or even a second and a half, depending on the track. And yeah, it may not sound like a lot still, but when you do that a few times over a race, it can be costly. They can add up. And this track, Red Bull Ring, a few others there, notorious for it. Purple sectors for James, but unfortunately he will have to serve that penalty. So it won't be happening this lap, but we'll have a look at the leader and see what he's doing. He's dropped to a 1:39.6 now, just outside the fastest lap, and has started running in the 1:39s every lap. He's really going for it on this fresh set of tyres. And there we go, Purple by over a tenth there. And I think the only thing that can cost overboost racing this race is overboost racing. And drivers of this ability rarely make mistakes. Let's see if that's how easy it is to get up penalties. He went through that curb on the S's. If he was just another couple of inches to the right, that would have been a penalty. It is a matter of inches. And let's see if he does get that fastest lap. It's looking nice and smooth and clean. It almost looks slow, which always means it's fast. Thank you, Dylan. So I do know it is Mazda. And he does get that fastest lap as we talk. Neo there with that 1:39.5. Only just. But only just is enough. Is there an extra point in this championship for fastest lap? And is it per stint or is it the overall event? See, I should know these things. I should be telling you. But hey, I'm useless. So as we're talking about Mazda, there he is in P2. So you're just losing that fastest lap there. By literally 0.08 of a second. He's just in front of James there, who's been getting a lot of shout outs as well. All the Apex Hunters. It's great to say some of these team names again. It has been a good while. All the RA guys running together. Great to see it, but us right on the back of Dens now. And what is the gap back to James now? It's 15 seconds at the moment. And James setting good pace of 1:39.9 last time round, so it's definitely the RA guys that have picked up the pace as well. 1:40.2 on the prior lap. And James closing that gap back down to 14.9 seconds. Purple sectors. Oh, he had the half a second penalty as well, didn't he? So, and he still did a 1:40.3 on that lap prior lap. P2, Mazda cannot get away from James. James finding it quite easy to run in the draft of that AMG. And using that slipstream to his advantage, probably saving a little bit of fuel, a little bit of tyre. But there we did see Mazda run a little bit wide when he get a penalty for going on the green. No, it does look like he's got away with that one. I would have said that's as much of a penalty as many of the penalties that you get here. Maybe you did lift off fractionally, I don't know. That can make a difference. But James looking slightly wider and more sweeping lines through them two corners there, so he should get a good exit down here. I know these aren't racing, but it's just going to give him a good exit into that slipstream. Has James used that to his advantage? What's his lap time and what's the gap between himself and the first of his RA victims, which will be asked? And it's still 14.7 seconds, so it's going to be a real struggle, but you never know. And I think he's doing just the right thing there. Oh no, he's unlapping himself. To be honest, I don't think Mazda can complain there. He could see James was faster and probably thinking the same himself. Perhaps he can use his slipstream, save a bit of tyres and fuel as well. So yeah, Mazda gets a big thumbs up from me as well. I am a Mazda fan. I do own one. It doesn't work, but I do own one. So yeah, it's a proper Mazda. Oh, wide again there from Mazda. Kicking up a bit of dust. Let's check them gaps out between 4 and 5. It's under a second now. The McLaren is coming. Whether Denz likes it or not. Consistent laps in the 143s, 140.2. But either way, that slipstream he is giving to us, working wonders and keeping him slightly out of the clutches of James, who's managed to bring that gap down by half a second. But half a second when you're pushing this hard, and you know your tyres are going to be wearing. Oh, I'm pretty confident James is pushing Fun Police. It certainly looks like it. Shall we have a look at that tyre wear and confirm this? But I almost don't want to look. Actually, tyre wear looking pretty damn good. I suppose with the slightly less fuel on board now. And purple sectors yet again. That M6 really quick through them first couple of sectors. Seems to be in the final tight sector. It struggles a little bit compared to the Mercedes and the McLaren. But through these two sectors it does look strong. Oh, that very wide by James there. And getting that half a second penalty. And deep there as well, but it does give him a good line for the exit. So we think we have found where James keeps picking up these half a second penalties. Needs to take a slightly shallower line through there. But again, all these guys on the limit every single lap. I mean, a 139.8 last time round, and it's all of a sudden half of this field has just switched into the 139s. Pretty impressive, guys. Pretty impressive. Let's have a quick check as well a bit further down. Hasnane now 2.7 seconds behind Apex Magnet, so that gap really coming down. 139.7 last time round. Another one who's just switched it up another second. God, this field is competitive. S7 Aero there in P9. 7.2 in front of Virtov now. So after the stops, it's not worked out great for Virtov. He has dropped back a bit, as we see Stroek jumping into the pits in P11 for his first stop. Look at the state of that left front. But it does show you the ability of the Porsche to go pretty much halfway. And a stop through here for just tyres. He will take on a little bit of fuel, I imagine. Nope, straight out on the tyres. Well, this puts Stroek back into no man's land. 36 seconds, 37 seconds behind Virtov. But still around a minute in front of Raptor Race. Down in P12. We will give Raptor Racing a little bit more airtime there. And let's not forget in P13 there, a minute and 31 back, should I say, of Raptor Race. It is MRL Johnny Waffle. In the MRL GTR there. Looking good, Mr. Johnny Waffle, keeping that gap between yourself and TCR Kemp at around 35 seconds. Kemp closing, but he's still a long way to go, and you can see how hard he is pushing, but it's not helping when you're doing a 43 last time round, so a little error somewhere. But back in the 41s now, but it just shows the strength and depth in this field. Ost within half a second of Dens, and James bringing that gap down. It's under 13 seconds now. It's back over 13 seconds now, but you know what I mean. It's hovering around the 13-second mark. Johnny Waffle's helmet is awesome. That's something we should be discussing here. Sorry, just catching up on the chat a little bit there. Awesome consistency by Ost. Yeah, the actual whole RA team. I mean, yeah, the GTR does seem to drop off the pace a little bit more with the tyres, but to have them running 3, 4 and 5 as well just shows... in my opinion, it shows they've worked with each other for this event. They've practiced together. They've worked to each member's strengths and depths, which stint they've run, so they can finish as high as they possibly could. And Ost, yeah, doing a fantastic job there in P5 and just sitting there cruising around with Dens. When you look at the pace, and it's pretty much matched lap for lap. It's, yeah, awesome to see. Amazing display of metronomic consistency. And James as well, just getting faster and faster. 1:39.582 last time round. Only 0.06 of a second slower than the fastest lap this stint so far. The gap between himself and Apex Magnet is now nearly 13 seconds, but the gap down between to himself and Ost down to 12.3. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? It's James. Another 1:39.5. And only 200ths off the fastest lap. But we can see that tyre wear starting to take effect on the left-hand front of that big fat pig of a BMW. Well, Apex Hunter James isn't going to stop him pushing, I'm pretty sure. But we would like to see some more battles here, so let's... Oh, 1.5 seconds now, Hasnan and Apex Magnet. The Apex Magnet is going to have to start getting defensive very, very soon. Well, let's have a quick look at the tyres on PA behind. Yeah, there we go, as suspected, the Mercedes eating them tyres like they are sweets. And the McLaren gently nursing them like they are babies. Any more shouts out for the RA guys in P3, 3, 4 and 5? Sorry guys, I have done about 7 hours of streaming today, so sometimes my mouth has actually run away with me and words don't come out, just noise. Perhaps I should just try and be an engine for the last hour. because we are approaching the halfway point. And in fact, we are over it for the leader because he's just starting at lap 32. Halfway point, that would have been lap 26. What planet am I on today? Jesus. Well, at the moment, he has led every single lap of this stint by a fair margin. He has now got fastest lap. And quite simply, a pretty awesome performance from the Overboost Racing team so far. One could almost say faultless. And again, another lovely looking livery there. My boys are all doing good, right? I think everybody's boys are doing good. I say the standard here. I've streamed a lot of your guys' events and stuff in the past, not for this specific channel, but a lot of these teams I've seen before, but the strength and depth seems to have grown. It really does. Everyone seems to have stepped up their game by a second or half a second a lap at least. And yeah, let's hope this is a thing for 2024 and everyone just gets better and better. And let's face it, the more fast people you race with, the faster you get. It's the only way you get faster. Mazda in P2. Again, we see the example of that Mercedes absolutely eating rubber. But still running in the 140s, look, even with that amount of tyre left. And that left front will be sliding. So that's just pure throttle control. And still managing to feed in the power nice and smoothly. It's just, yeah, great to see it. And everybody's doing it. Everybody, I mean, King Gears now, his tyres a little bit down, but it's still low 141s. And that may have just been because he had a little bit of a twitch that lap. But it does seem to be the M6 and the Mercedes struggling with the left front tyre. And let's not forget the GTR, but it isn't as bad. Let's check the gap out. Is Oscar going to do anything? We know he isn't. Or is he? Is he going to give his teammate a tow round? He is. There we go. Your tyres are gone, mate. Get behind me. I'm not doing these 141s. Ost is off. Or is he just doing it to ditch his mate so his mate can be eaten by James? Let's have a look. That gap down to 7.3 seconds. James is coming. And the left front as good as it is on the BMW as the GTR. That's pretty similar tyre wear then. I mean, I can flick between the two and you can hardly see a movement. So the Mercedes definitely worse, but the GTR and the M6 definitely not as good as the Porsche and McLaren on tyres. I mean, see that McLaren just pulling away now. Ost is gone. Ost has checked out. He's dumped his mate. Slowest in the herd now. James is having you for supper, mate. And James is still doing them 139.5s. Look, even with the car moving around like that, yes, he did lose a little bit on lap 30, but still a low 140 when others have been doing 41s. So yes, the Apex Hunter M6 has been an absolute animal this round. If he could stop getting them half a second penalties, I think he would already be on the back of these guys. I know, Nick, but we can't stop it. He is coming. He wants to taste the Brace Asylum rainbow of fruit flavour. Den's trying to stay in our slipstream. But us, he's not holding back, he's going. He can go running the 140 still, his tyres still looking absolutely sound for another good 5 or 6 laps. And how about his? How are his tyres doing? What tyres? Yeah, I think he will be in at the end of this lap. I imagine P1 has already been in. No, they are going for another lap. 1 minute 18 the lead over P2 Mazda. No way I'm keeping up with the chat at the moment, but it's great to see you guys chatting away as we do see Mazda in. The Mercedes finally said enough. We can see a little slither of white, look. I don't normally keep the tyre info on this long, but it's bloody interesting at the moment. And we see P1 in as well. Lap 35. So another 17 laps. Will this be the last stop? No. It might be. For some, anyway. Yeah, it is going to be a 3-stop race, isn't it? Sorry, 2 stops. Sorry, just doing maths, so I've gone all quiet. Morning beers with the team? What do you mean? It's like 6:30. Definitely not morning beers now. Nowadays you're all over the world, and we appreciate everyone for joining in some weird time zones. So I'm sure it is the likes of the Sector 7 racing guys over there in Oz. I know it does depend, but at this time of year it gets confusing for me because I've got a mate over there and they're 11 hours in front. But in the summer they're only 9 hours in front because of the time changes and blah 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 blah. King is 47 seconds behind P2. Well, he's only 8 seconds in front of his teammate now, but that will be after the stop because Dens hasn't stopped yet. But Ost has dropped back to P6. What's happened there? Because Ost has not been in. Ost has had a moment. I don't think we're going to catch it. Oh no, I've missed action. I do apologise, guys. He spun at turn 3. Ooh. Oh. Now he has gone in for his final stop. And everyone has gone in. They are all covering each other off here. The gap between P4 and 5 though is only 2.5 seconds. And look at the extra fuel lost has. So James is going to have to put fuel in here. And Denz has been saving fuel by the look of that with 44% left. Or did he put some in at the earlier stop? Just to cover that off. Ast certainly can go the distance, and he should be able to because it's over a third of a tank. And he has got past James again. This worked out really good for Ast. Now he can keep James behind him and try and catch up to his teammate. They can hopefully work together and keep James behind them. But we all know James will be on a mission. His pace has been pretty damn brutal this half of the race. Ringing the neck of that BMW as we start to go into the dusky air. We can see the flames really spewing out the side of that M6. Yes, Simon Oxford, James was up to 5th, but back down to 6th. But, oh, he really, really, really is going to be right on the back of these guys for as long as it takes now, I think. Race Asylum guys really are going to have the hands full with that M6. And Hasnain has got past Apex Magnet during the pit stops. So Loose Moose Racing up to P7, 14.6 seconds behind James, and we all know James is absolutely killing it at the minute, so not much chance of making up 14.7 seconds unless something does happen in front, and if they do start battling between P6 and P4, and you never know. Only takes a bit of damage. Apex Magnet with 15.6 seconds over S7R Aero in P9. Who is right with Vertov. These guys close right up, and that Mercedes really needs to go into the pits very soon. And I think the Porsche will cover it off. As we see Raptor Race in the pits in P12. But great to see we are going to have some battles for the final part of the final stint, hopefully. Hopefully it won't all just happen in the pits. We'd like to see some of it on the track. So we need to keep our eyes on this and the battle for P4. Which, as we can see, is really closing up. Ost down to under a second now, and James all over the back of Ost. Oh my god, I'm going to need some busy fingers right now. Oh, as we can see, Vertov making a move. Well, S7R trying to make the switch back, not having it. Vertov keeping the place. At least we got to see that on track. We will jump back to this battle now. James all over the back of Ost. As we do jump on board the M6. Let's get that race info off. Osh doing just enough to get the drive out of the corners to keep James behind him at the moment, but James very early on the power there. But the McLaren just seeming that little bit smoother on the power and being able to get it down, but he's going to move up the inside. Oh, we will put a marker in there. There was a little bit of contact. I think they did just about give each other enough room. but it may have cost James a little bit of pace. I think we'll quickly jump back now, because there is half a second there. We will see this from outside of the car this time. And it is a good view actually. James late on the brakes. Guess it turned in tight. I couldn't see much wrong with that. It was almost like I let him through. I think there may have been a little bit of contact on braking. That may have been out of view. But we will get back to the race as quick as possible, because I'm pretty sure that gap will come down pretty quickly. And I think I would be right. On board with Dens, looking back at James. The Apex Hunters trying to make the way through the race asylum pack. I think King Gears is pretty safe with 43-second gap in front of these three. But it is great to see a battle for the last place on the podium. What can James do? He's closing up really close under braking here. He's going for a move, I think. Can he get it round the outside? No. But he does get good exit. So he is going to be on the inside here, but oh, Zen's not giving him any room. Shutting that door. He's trying to force his way on the inside there. This is clean, but definitely gloves off. I think the M6 will have the beef down the straight here. Yeah, didn't even need the draft, the better exit. James being very aggressive on the throttle out of corners, and it's working for him. But late on the brakes there for Dens. Let's keep James behind him. Great battle here for P4. And obviously with this battle, it's allowing us to close right back up. Absolutely fun police, spot on, bang on racing here by these three. James on the inside again. But Den's not lifting up and keeping his foot in. He's really making James work for this. There's no way he's going to go round the outside there. Can he get the old switcheroo back here and get on the power early though? I think he is. He's going to be on the inside here. Can he be late on the brakes and cut the corner up? But we all know James does like picking up a penalty here, and Den's has a bit of a moment. And he manages to slot in between James and his teammate Ost there. But Ost will have the drive down here, and he will let his teammate through, and does get a half a second penalty for the pleasure. Oh, and breathe. Yeah, unlucky Den's there. I don't think there was any contact, and I did forget to press Z, so I can't even look at the replay. I just think it was... everyone was slightly offline, weren't they? Because we had got two abreast. We even missed the fastest laps gone to with 1:39.2 to Loose Moose Racing's Hasnain. Well done, fella. Good nap now. Let's have a look at James. James is pulling away now. He's already 1.5 seconds in front of us. But all he's doing is building himself a cushion now with 44.7 seconds between himself and King Gears. Well, why is the gap between P7 and P6? I think it was pretty big as well, wasn't it? No, it's 8.1 seconds. And with the... Whoa! Hasnain's last 3 laps. Loose Moose Racing absolutely going for her on this final set of tyres. Have they got enough fuel then? I think they should do it just about. But 1:39.2, 1:39.4, 1:39.3. That is just, yeah, blistering pace there. Neo, meanwhile, 1:39's pretty much every lap this stint. 1 minute and 19 seconds now in front of P2 Mazda, who is fluctuating between the 1:39s and 1:41 on lap 41, so obviously had a little bit of a moment. But otherwise than that, super consistent, blistering pace. Again, I can't express enough my admiration at the strength and depth of this field, consistency and how close the lap times are. Give King here a little bit of airtime for a second. Not too much. And we have seen a lot of this guy. For me, a driver of the stint. Unless something crazy happens in the last 10 laps, which is quite possible. Austin P5 now, Den's dropping back slightly. But we will keep our eyes on that gap between 4 and 5, because we do know that the tyres do start to drop off on the BMW, but it doesn't seem to affect James dramatically, even when it's pretty much all red. But Hasnain, that gap coming down 6.7 seconds now to Den's. With 10 laps left, I think them tyres will be pretty sound, and it's getting darker and darker out there, which means it will be getting slippier and slippier, but the cooler air is obviously making these cars pick up a little bit of pace as well. Apex Magnet slowly dropping away, consistent. Just not being able to get into them 139s consistently. S7R the same in P9. Showing great pace. He's got a fab set of tyres left under him for his last stint. But with 52 seconds now behind Apex Magnet, he's just going to be worried about keeping Viertoff behind him in P10. That gap at 4.2 will be interesting to keep our eyes on. P11 Stoic 17.8 seconds behind Viertoff. And wrapped a race all on his own with over a minute and 25 seconds behind Stoic and a minute and 14 in front of Johnny Waffle. But there is Mr. Johnny Waffle. Trying to get a bit of a look at his helmet there, but I put my controller down, so I haven't even got my zoom function. We'll have a look, because somebody did mention looking at Johnny's helmet. I'm hoping they meant the one in the game. There we go. Fantastic, we'll zoom in again and have another look. Yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. And last but not least, he has brought that gap down to 27 seconds, so he's took nearly 20 seconds out of Johnny Waffle. I'm pretty sure he will have to come into the pits himself now as well. Well, yeah, them tyres aren't going to go to the end, I don't think. But the fuel might. And if he does, that's super duper fair play, because he might catch right up to Mr. Johnny Waffle. Because he has taken nearly 20 seconds out of him. Meanwhile, I am going to flick back to where was the best part? It was Hasnain, wasn't it? Closing down. On Denza, gap down to 5.7 seconds now. I'm going to get rid of this from the bottom of the screen and go and grab a drink and have a quick pee, guys. It has been a really busy day. I wouldn't normally do this in an hour and a half stint, but I haven't got much of a choice. Still the fastest lap with Hasnain, who's racing, having a really good final stint here. Cheers, everybody. Gap down to 4.8 seconds. We will come back here very shortly. And we'll see asked what's that gap now. He's homed up to nearly 5 seconds between himself and Dens. Oh, sorry, 3 seconds between himself and Dens, and 5 seconds James has pulled away. James has pulled the pin, running them at mid 139s. Absolutely fab pace there. Further down the order, Virtoff now 5 seconds behind S7R. Has he had a bit of a moment there, Virtoff? Let's have a look. No. Now we can see S7R in front. So we got a couple of 4 or 5 second gaps to keep our eyes on. I think that's about it at the moment. Yeah, Stoic 14.3 seconds behind Virtoff. Well, it shows some amazing pace there. 139.4 last time round. So who knows? With 6 laps to go. Well, actually, no, it won't be, will it? Because it's the final stint. There's only 4 laps to go. Pony juice, indeed. I did tell you I'd be getting the beer stint. Unfortunately, I've been that busy. I've only just started my second one. So I have been a good boy and haven't got myself into a dribbling mess, which has been known on streams in the past. But normally at like about 4 or 5 in the morning. And it just kind of happens. When you should have gone to bed hours ago. The ORT team now just winding down, bringing it home at 140.9 last time round. What's the rush? 1 minute and 19 seconds in the bag. Over Mazda, who in turn has 48 seconds over the first of the Race Asylum guys. In P3. Which is our host with the most for this stint, Mr. King is. Piss Pony on 2 cans. 10 maybe. Oh, drinking games with penalties. I like that. Yeah, that sounds good. Over penalties. Shots. If we do shots, I only really drink tequila. So I'm not much of a shot person, but I'll do it on beers. And I only drink weak piss beer as well, so I can have more. I'm just a greedy pony, what can I say? James now 5.7 seconds in front of us, who's just keeping that gap just over 2 seconds between himself and Dens. Hasnain is starting to struggle to close that gap now. Perhaps he has destroyed his tyres a bit because he has dropped into the 140s. And a little bit of traffic. Is it traffic, or has he been lapped and got out of the way? No, he wouldn't have been lapped at the pace he's been doing, would he? Quite possibly unlapping. Yeah, that is P2 in front of him. Has been, say, very consistent. But not quite the pace of some of these really quick guys in this stint. This possibly costing Hasnain now. And he can't take any risks trying to unlap himself. Not unless Mazda decides to let him through. Which, to be honest, I don't think would be a bad thing. I'd rather not have headlights in my window and follow somebody round when you've got a 48-second cushion. That may have ruined that battle for us, but we don't know. Apex Magnet dropping back 9.3 seconds behind now. Let's have a look at 9 and 10, because that was close. It's crept back up to around the 5-second mark. These guys just matching each other for pace. It's just frustrating. But meanwhile, 2 laps to go for the leaders. Neo are just bringing it home. I think that has been his sole job for this stint. Get in there, don't kill yourself, just bring it home, buddy. And just so not the fastest lap times, but that consistency is king here. P2 Mazda still running around with the Loose Moose Racing AMG right there in its wake. It depends on the track, Andrew. Certain tracks definitely. We should definitely do it at Red Bull Ring. Where else? Here. Where else is a sucker for penalties? Tokyo. Ooh. I agree, Hansa, and I think you should. The race of solemn, guys. I drove a fantastic race today. Yeah, I'm with Hansa on that. Whiskey as well. If I have whiskey, I don't remember a thing. Oh, an RA Asylum racer. Do tell us more. A gap at the front up to 1 minute and 20 now. As we start the final lap. Even dropping into the 149s now. He knows it's in the bag. Got the heat off the back of that car. It has been racing for nearly 6 hours. Possibly over, I don't know. With the standing on the grid and that, I'm sure it has. Yeah, and I know they're not real. Other guys are still away off the final lap yet. I'm with James and they're getting caught up in a little bit of traffic towards the end here. But still 39 seconds to King here, so that's not going to cause anybody any dramas. But we will stick with Neo. Well, actually, no, we shouldn't, should we? We will on and off. We will check back on some of these other gaps very quickly. Let's check back the Dens. He's got that gap down to 3 seconds. These guys are going to be starting their final lap. And I can't see him closing that gap down by 3 seconds. Especially as he's still stuck behind Mazda as well. And what was the other one? It was 10, wasn't it? Virta 5.2 seconds behind. I can't see a lot happening there either. We're going to need issues. So here we go. Down the back straight for the final time. And across the line for the ORT team. Overboost Racing guys, fantastic job. Almost perfection. Metronomic. This stint not always the fastest. But that gap still grew. As we see this, the first of the Sector 7 racing cars. Superbly driven by Mazda for this stint. Dropping into the 41s. But that Mercedes, we know, eating tyres. As we see, King Ears does actually cross before Mazda. Congratulations on P3 RA King Ears. Oh, almost looked like it got stuck on the curb then. Oh, is anybody else going to finish before? Loads of people are going to finish before these guys. And where are we? Oh, look, S7 Aero has finished. That's the only problem with doing this on your own. Veered off in P10, congratulations guys. But we will jump back to some of the ones that are finishing now. P6 Dens, and then we have P2 Mazda, and P7 Hasnain. P8 Apex Magnet coming over the line. Who's that after there? That was P14 TCR Kemp, Johnny Waffle in P13. Obviously did. They don't give you much time to skip through, do they? Well, there you go. Let's get the results up there. I'm very sorry about the bit of a messy ending there, but it's hard to work out who's where on track. That's probably when I need to put the names above, isn't it? That's a good idea for future reference. So, here we have it, guys. Here's the Overboost Racing team in first. Sector 7 guys in second. And then the first of the Race Asylum guys in P3. Apex Hunters P4. Race Asylum P5 and a P6. Loose Moose Racing P7. Apex Magnet, what team were you in again? Oh, where's my phone? And let's see if I can work it out. Some of them I can't. No, but well done. Apex Magnet in P7. S7 Aero for the second of the Sector 7 teams. Ready to race, guys. Virtov in P10. Stroek, I'm not sure which team he's in as well, as I couldn't see it on the car. Raptor Racing in P12. Johnny Waffle, MRL in P13. And TCR Kemp for the Syndicate Racing team in P14. Guys, that was a fantastic stint to stream. I say strength and depth throughout the field there. Lap times to die for, and clean, great racing. Thanks everyone for joining the chat. Don't forget to give a like and a subscribe to the channel and give the stream a thumbs up. Big shout out to everyone that helps organise this at IRO, and I will see you all again at the next one. Look forward to it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. I'll catch you all soon. From us at IRO, it's good night, and we'll see you at the next one.